Welcome to Uncommon Courtesy.
We give you courtesy of conversation.
That's uncommonly spoke of.
I'm D-Mac.
I'm Wesley.
And this is the show. Yo, so it's on. Trump versus Biden. And so, Donald Trump, I got this article pulled up just days after installing his new leadership team at the Republican National Committee. Let me scroll down a little bit. Donald Trump's lieutenants are cutting dozens of staff across key departments in an aggressive move that further cements the former president's takeover of the GOP political fundraising machinery. He don't need that money.
At the RNC, he cut him. Right now, he's feeling like if there's any moles, any plants in here, he's getting them up out of here.
Yeah, no, he's putting the footwork in. He's like, look, we ain't gonna lose this time because nobody gets to win but me.
It's kind of like what Biden said. You can't just love your country only when you win.
Now, Biden said something smooth. He's like, look, I'm a president for all Americans. I'm like, I feel that.
And it's facts. You know what I mean? Okay, so also Trump today, he said something about, he put out, I'm not sure if it was a tweet or what, but he put out a statement saying that first day in office, he's going to close the border, which he said he was going to do before. Drill, baby, drill. We're already number one in the world in oil production. We're at an all-time high. No one's ever drilled as much oil in the history of mankind as we're doing right now. And number three, he said he's going to free all of his January 6th hostages. And so I was like, I know I'm being very partial right now.
Bro, you can let them all out, huh?
I know I'm being super partial right now, but to me, I just don't. To me, I see what he really is. I see what he's really about, and I don't agree with it. But there's a lot of Americans that do. So I do want to give a backdrop to kind of talk.
Well, see, Donald Trump is president for the people that follow him, as he should be. He's like, look, you rock with me, I fucks with you. I got you.
Absolutely.
If you don't, I don't care about you.
Very, very loyal to the people that deal with him too.
Of course,
very,
they
very
go for
loyal.
him.
Yeah, I mean,
and they love him too.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like this in my entire life.
I have.
When?
Barack Obama.
No, man. Okay, maybe. But we never drove around with. I love Obama too. I mean, not for all the reasons that I see what he really did too. I see him going to Libya. He killed Gaddafi. That I don't agree with that at all. I think that he played a role in that, and that just. But anyway, that tarnishes presidency a lot to me. But I do see that we didn't drive around with Obama flags.
No, we played it with bass 12-inch speakers in our truck. My president is black. My Lambo's blue. Come on now.
I gotta give you that. You got me right there. Okay. I mean, but I've never seen people just...
If they made Obama ones, we'd be rocking them too.
Okay, you're right. But I'm going to say like this. And the fact of the matter is pretty much anything Obama did, we would have been defending him to
we defended him for everything.
But it's different. I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's different. I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's
the same passion. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to tell you why I feel like it's different, bro. Because this was the first black president in the history of the United States.
And Trump is the first European-American president to actually speak the truth to the people.
I won't say that. How does I don't believe that. I think
he speaks how he says how he feels. I mean, you may not like what comes out of his mouth. You'd be like, damn, this dude's wild.
This is not me saying I like any of these presidents. I bet you George Washington, those first few people, pretty much talked the truth too. Because he had nothing to lose. He's like, man, we just won this month. You know what I mean? I'm not saying he was a good person. I'm not talking about his personality, the things he did personally. But he pretty much was like, man, look, they at the gates right now. We just won the war. We're a brand new country.
Yeah.
There's nothing to lie about that point in time. He got to tell the truth. We need more troops. We need some more money. We about to starve. This is what's going on over here. He's just pretty much playing keeping things in line at that point in time. I believe we can't say that he's the first. I know what you mean though. In recent times, he's probably the first to tell the honor, to come out and tell his truth. I'm not gonna say he's telling the truth.
Donald Trump?
He lies a lot.
Oh, he lies a lot.
He lies.
We can't. He would lie so much they'd be like, that's not what he really meant. Like, why did he say it?
He lies an extreme amount. I mean, he just talks. Just talks and talks and talks and talks and just he's a very good talker, but it's crazy because I got friends of mine who I know never would have liked him before. But now that he's running for president, he says exactly what they want to hear. Yeah. They love him.
Because he's playing to his base. He's not trying to be president for everybody. You see, he's trying to throw black folks in there like, I'm being prosecuted. How y'all like that? And I hate when politicians do that.
He said, just black people.
Yeah, I hate when politicians say that. You know what I'm saying? Because the prison industrial complex is basically just modern day slavery. You can find it still in the Constitution. And I just hate when they throw that, hey, we'll give you guys less jail time. Like, oh, that's what you're offering. Yeah. Thanks. Oh, my God.
It's crazy, man.
Instead of 9 months, I got 6.
I think the black Republican something. And he basically told them, he's like, he said, I can't see anything out there. All I see is black people. Haven't I come a long way? I mean, that's crazy to me. He's just basically telling you, hasn't that come a long way? I can only see you guys now. Like, I didn't see you before.
Only way he can get the black votes is he drops a fire mixtape with Kanye West right now, which ain't gonna happen.
Me personally, I feel like it's not about us giving up our vote to any one particular party. It's just about us correlating our vote to what matters most to us. It's like if we can, our power should be in our vote. So if it's one particular party that's going to do better by us because we make them, not because of what they say they're going to do, because what we make them do.
Yeah, for me, it's like I don't really care much for Joe Biden, but like with Donald Trump, when it comes to politics, I mean, first of all, he's funny. Yeah. He's an equal opportunist. But with politics,
he is funny.
He's funny. He's funny. I'll give it to him.
He's funny. The other day, it was funny. So I can't remember.
He's funny. I used to see him on Twitter. I'm like, oh, he's at it again early in the morning, eating McDonald's, going crazy. But it's like for him, he's not running to be president of the United States. He's running to be president of his base, which is not. I'm not like that. I don't like that. You know, first of all, he shouldn't be running for president anyways. You committed treason trying to overthrow the government. There's nothing you can say about that. Nothing you can say about that. That's exactly what you did. You shouldn't be running in the first place. But he's running, so he's just running for his base. So everyone that likes him, with 78 million people that like him, you know what I'm saying? He's looking at them. And that's not how America should be run. I mean, it's hard for me to say that, too, as a black man that came out of my mouth. The president should be for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, why not? Why wouldn't?
That's how it should be. The president should be for everybody, not just for the people that follow you.
I mean, absolutely, it has to be that way.
And for me, he's not stable. I don't understand why anybody that thinks it's going to be around him in his cabinet has a chance to have any views or anything, because he'll just fire you. He'll be like, you can go.
You heard about Kelly just said today something about he said that he really liked Hitler. He was like, I really like Hitler. And the funny part about it is like,
who did?
Trump.
I used to have a teacher. I teacher in high school used to say you like Trump. Or no, you like Hitler.
We'll talk about it. But General Kelly was his chief of staff. I think it was his longest serving chief of staff that he had. General Kelly had a son that died in the Afghan war. And Trump was like, oh, those guys were suckers who go to war and die. He said that. This is General, and he also said that he liked Hitler. And General Kelly was like, why? He's like, well, he cut prices or something like that, or made the lives better for the people who lived in this country. And General Kelly just kind of peeped him on, like, you can't say that as being president because this is what this person did. He destroyed his own country, sent them out for slaughter. But at the same time, though, there are portions of understanding what he meant by that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Personally, you don't have to just look at the worst thing about anyone and say, that's why I hate him. They just got to hate him.
Well, no, I had a teacher in school, and he was like, he's like Hitler was horrible for what he did to, the Holocaust and stuff. He's like, but he was a military genius.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you got to break things down when it comes to people. You can't always just look at it as a broad stroke and say, because I look at certain things like I believe that he could have probably taken over the world had he done certain things differently, had he held off on just
trying to take over Russia. I mean, that's what threw him off.
That's what threw him off.
That's what threw him off. And a lot of people don't understand that's what threw off. That's why we're not controlled by the Nazis now. Hitler tried to take over Russia, right? He was trying to conquer it, but his plan was that every time they raided a city or a town or whatever in Russia, they would take all the resources they had and feed the troops off that. And the Russians were like, no, you won't. And so they burned everything before they got there, and the army starved in the winter.
And there was a strong winter that year too. And at the same time, there's a lot. I know we're kind of bouncing around a little bit, but I mean, if you look at it over in Japan, they basically ran through China already. The only reason why they even struck America is because we stopped giving them certain, I think they needed like metals or something to help build ships and stuff. And so that's why they struck us because of that. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, if they would have never struck America, we would never gotten into the war. Europe would be totally
decimated, gone.
Nazis and everything else.
They was running through Europe.
Yeah, but at the same time, okay, when Trump said that.
Like a hooker on military payday.
Crazy.
I'm just saying, they was getting them.
Yeah, the Blitzkrieg, they did decimate it. Ran through France like it was nothing.
Yeah, but my bad. Back on the topic. I mean, like I said, Joe Biden, after he did that State of the Union, I was like, okay, he awake. And
that mattered. I know this guy said today, I think he commented, he was like, so you guys are now giving people credit, basically giving Joe Biden credit just for being able to be put together a coherent sentence.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy that we're saying that too, but I really feel like, I mean, I've already discussed it and said it before. I feel like he's one of the best statesmen that we've had at president in our lifetime. That's what he was good at before. Joe Biden was always the handshaking guy. That's why you notice him when he shakes a person's hand, he grabs right here by their wrist too. That's a form of control. People do that to you. When they do this to you, it's a form of control. Like they're taking control of the situation. People don't realize that. He's always been really good at making friends across the aisle, even with people like, Robert Byrd, who was the former KKK member. But at the end of the day, when there's 100 senators and he's one of them, he's probably friends with a bunch of other people we don't even know about as far as being Robert Byrd. You work with who's a part of the process that you have to work with.
Yeah, especially when you don't want the schools to turn into jungles. But, that's another topic.
Absolutely. People said a lot of different things. Trust me, I get it.
But did he ever come out and apologize for it?
I don't know. But what I do know is that he became Barack Obama's vice president, and that's why he's in the position that he's in now. He had to go have a black grandbaby, whatever you want to call it, and this is what this is right now for him. This was his moment of understanding and of truth. Who's his vice president? So sometimes sometimes your view on things has to change. You have to understand who's your base and who are you dealing with. And you got to come home at some point in time. And when you got control of a situation like that, you use it to your advantage. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about us. But anyway, also,
I think their debate will be watched as much as Jake Paul and Mike Tyson's fight.
I'm not watching Jake Paul and Mike Tyson.
Everybody's going to watch that. You going to watch it.
I'm not watching.
Everybody's watching.
I'm not watching, bro. I don't watch my brother, anyway, but.
We all watching. Everybody, the whole world is going to watch that.
I'm not watching. I want to see Mike Tyson look on. He barely even beat up on Roy Jones, man.
Roy Jones was running for his life the whole time.
Man.
And they only did body shots. Anyways, let's get back to the program. Back to the program.
Okay. But at the same time, Biden had a speech, I think it was yesterday. It wasn't even a speech. It was an interview yesterday where he said that, Netanyahu, they did have a reason for going into Gaza, because of October 7th. But he calls the city of Rafah, where there's over 1 million Palestinians right now, a red line. It says that Netanyahu or I think it's the Israeli IFD or something like that. I can't remember, or military force or something, defense force, IDF, goes into Rafah, the city of Rafah, he's calling it a red line. He's not really
Didn't they already bomb it?
I don't know.
I know they were bombing them. They told him, one time they told him, hey, leave on this road and you'll be fine. Nothing will happen to you. And as the civilians were leaving, they were bombing them. And then they bombed them, they'd be like, well, there's Hamas in there. And I'm like, it's not. You're killing. It
was 30,000 weeks ago.
It's like they're killing.
Probably he said another 30,000. It can't happen. I know he has.
He said the majority. He's like a lot of them right now are dying of starvation.
I think they said. He said like. I know I heard a number 25 people. They said I think 25. But I don't know. I believe there's probably more. We've had to airdrop food. I think we're airdropping food every day. This week I think we did some last week too. They said it's mostly for show. Why don't we go in there? Because that we're talking about putting a port.
A floating dock, basically.
Mm-hmm, but then
they don't want no troops on the ground. But the whole thing is, it's like you look at Israel. They're just making themselves look worse in the world.
Looking worse, man. They are. It's the fact of the matter is they've killed 30-something thousand people, man, for 1,200,
and 10,000 of them were children.
For 1,200, man. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's 30 times more.
And the U.S. is actually blocking the ceasefire.
And you're killing civilians, innocent people. You're like, they're hiding under the church. They're hiding under the hospital. They're hiding under the school.
Man, come on, man. Stop bombing.
You killed your own people. You showed us exactly who you are and what you are when you killed 3 of your own civilians, and they had their shirts off and they were waving them like flags. They had written on this thing, and I think it was Hebrew, and they were telling you who they were, screaming out. 2 of them come out. You kill both of them too. The third one's like, "Hey, please don't kill me. Please don't kill me." And then you guys went and killed him anyways, and then figured out down the line, then you want to make up a story. This is the same thing that Hamas does. Come on, man. We're done listening to that bullshit. Yeah. People are done listening to you. You're period, plain and simple. Netanyahu is a war criminal. Period.
You're committing a genocide. You're doing to the people of Gaza what you claim the people did to your people in the Holocaust. And you're trying to use the Holocaust as a shield of why you're doing these atrocities.
You were given the land that was not yours. Maybe at some point in time, some of you guys were there, but a lot of you guys are not the Israelis that come from that land. That was Palestinian land. That was called Palestine. They basically went in there and bullied their way in for you guys and gave it to you guys. And you guys act like, we were strong enough to go and take it. No, you weren't. You were given weapons. And you probably bought them. You had money. You probably bought the weapons that you used, but you had military support from other people.
So I found it. It said, according to Kelly, Trump admitted Hitler's rebuilding of Germany economy and his tough guy perception is what he liked the most about Hitler.
Yeah.
while failing to recognize the Holocaust and devastating loss of American soldiers.
And they'll support Trump when he says that, doesn't have a problem with him. He says he really liked Hitler and everything else, blah, blah, blah. But back to this this conflict. I know I'm...
No, it's just, going. Yeah.
At the end of the day, man, it's gotten out of hand.
It's crazy. It's crazy. There's one thing back in the day you have to read all this in the newspaper. We're watching this live on our phones.
Dead bodies everywhere, man.
Dead bodies everywhere. Crazy. Children getting carried out of rubble. They're not killing nobody. They're not doing. You're making it worse. It's horrible. It's
tunnels in the ground. This, that, and the third. Nobody cares. You're killing people on the West Bank too, man. You guys, you're basically, we're going to exterminate them. Honestly, man, you guys are becoming one of the biggest threats to mankind, just like we have over here in this country. We have right-wing extremist groups who really believe that. I won't even say they're right-wing extremist groups. I'll just say white nationalist groups, or whatever you want to call them, racist groups. People, you guys are just like them pretty much at this point in time. Everyone sees it. Everyone knows it. They're
watching it live.
Period. You guys destroyed Gaza. Destroyed it. You see those?
I've seen the buildings. I've seen the bodies of the children laying in the ground.
Bombs. You're just bombing. You're flexing muscles because the rest of the world is giving you this muscle. We give you $6 billion a year for what? For your defense? I get it. Okay, cool, because you're our satellite in that region. We can't even trust you at the end of the day. We can't trust you because if we say it's a red line and you say you're going, Netanyahu said he's going into to Rafah anyways. He said he will be bombing Rafah. There's 1 million people there. Are you serious, man?
He's dead serious. They're going to kill them all.
I know.
And then what are you going to do about it?
And no one's going to say or do anything about it.
Every time the UN's actually trying to change the vote so that one country can't stop them from calling a ceasefire. Because the one country that keeps stopping them from calling a ceasefire is America.
But the UN needs to go in there and send troops in there and see what happens at that point in time. America, we should have gone in there and created a safe zone, for a huge safe zone for everyone to be able to, for all Palestinians to go into, get food. You cut off their water. I mean, who lives like that? Treat people like animals, man. And you act like people who treat people like animals. Those are really the true animals.
Yeah, Americans.
They are. I mean, I count us with that group too. But who's actually on the ground doing it? It's them.
That's true.
I'm not. It's on us too, because we're sitting back and we're being a part of it. We're allowing it to happen. We're acting like we're not who we are.
No, there's tons of people protesting. They keep trying to cut it down, protesting. There's people at the Oscars. They were Jewish. They're like, yo, we're not going to hide behind our Jewishness and say that because of the Holocaust, we're allowed to do these atrocities. We don't stand by that. They got up on the Oscars and said that. There's people at the colleges are protesting. They try to shut down the Oscars. They're out there protesting for Palestine. They're kicking people out of college. But the media,
because of TikTok, right?
It's just everybody, like all around the world.
This is just what. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, all around the world, they're protesting. Stop a ceasefire for Gaza.
We need to do more than just protest from now.
Yeah.
People need to start banding together. They need to be shunned. They need to be kicked out of any kind of, if they're on any kind of, commissions, any kind of like G7. They're not in that, but I'm just saying any kind of groups. They need to be ousted, ostracized. Period. This is what should happen. These are war criminals. I think it was the guy in Serbia, Herzegovina. I can't remember the guy's name, but he was a war criminal. They brought him out and they put him on trial. They went in and they killed Gaddafi for nothing, for absolutely nothing. They killed Saddam Hussein.
Man, they still finding old Nazis that are in wheelchairs and still locking them up for war crimes.
So I mean, at the end of the day, Netanyahu, his whole entire cabinet, his whole entire government. I honestly, I blame Israel as a whole, but I understand it's not the people because we're Americans and we go through stuff. But America, our government does, and we don't agree with.
No, they have people. I saw a video today. They had people in Israel blocking off the roads, trying to have a ceasefire. Excuse me, and they were Israeli. They want Netanyahu out. I know that he's going to be ousted during his next run. I think it's this year. He's coming up for a run. But this dude, he feels like because of the last time when he made a deal with Yasser Arafat. When he made his deal, I believe he made a deal with Arafat, and they that's when they gave them. I believe, I'm not sure. Don't quote me on this right here. But I know Netanyahu made a deal, and he backed off and gave some land to the Palestinians, and they still went in and they bombed anyways. After that, I think he felt like he lost his prime minister position, and he had to come back again. And next time he came in, he said, "This isn't going to happen to me again. I'm going hard in the paint for everything I got going on." And this is what he's been doing. So that's just my personal feelings. I know I kind of went above and beyond, but it needed to be said, man. People are just, this is ridiculous. It is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous, man.
What do y'all think? Leave your comments. Like, share, subscribe. This is Uncommon Courtesy.
Absolutely.
See y'all next time.